So you may use some repositories which I mentioned in the last presentation. You can use it according to your own suitability. However, some of the repositories like Zenodo are considered to be safe by some of the prominent journals like Nature. So I'll be just sharing with you how you can create an account there, and you can deposit your data which remains safe over here. And it also gives you a DOI number that can be used for specific references later on. Uh, Even in the journals in which you are submitting your work, you can always mention the DOI number as well as where your data has been submitted. So it will be very easy for the editors of the journal to look into the data. More increasingly, as previously mentioned as well, the authors are required to make available the data to the editors, and this has become a mandatory part of most of the review process. That means the reviewers of the articles would want to look up to the data first to find out or authenticate the data validity as well as reliability. So yeah, so if we begin with, you can see you can sign up by sign up with ORCID. ORCID is nothing but Open Researcher and Contributor ID. It's a non-proprietary alphanumeric code that is to identify uniquely the scientific and other academic contributions done by the author and contributors. So that is also increasingly required when you submit your research articles uh, to journals. So we need to have this ORCID account as well. So you can go to ORCID link and you can sign in here. I'll just show to you. I'll just put ORCID and yeah, so you require to register here in ORCID. So you can see you want to have your personal account or you want to have institutional account. In the institutional account, you need to have your education institution address in your email ID, so that you can even sign in with some of the social media accounts. Maybe ResearchGate offers this facility. So what you can do is you can create your ORCID number by registering. You can give your name, primary email ID, regional email ID, and password. Now this is important. By default, who should be able to see information added to your ORCID record? You want it for everyone. You want only for some of the trusted parties or only me. That means you want your data to be very safe. Basically, ORCID helps you helps others also in identifying your own publications records as well as academic research records. So that is there. So this is it. You have to just fill it up and you get an ORCID number. That ORCID number needs to be put here when you are signing up with ORCID. So if you sign it up with ORCID, these are the following information that you'll have to log in with your ORCID and start with the work. Now I've already done this, so I'll be sharing this again. Okay, so okay, so here we see this is the Zenodo account which I had just made and confirmed my email ID there. So you can see this is the repository which people have created. You can see some of the COVID-19 researches databases which are here. You can also upload your publications here, data and other things, which I'll be just showing it to you right now. Yeah, so these are some of the records. Now why use Zenodo? It says it's secure, it's trusted, citable, there's no waiting time, and other things are mentioned. You can yourself explore this Now what you can do is, if you want to upload your data, okay, so this is the place where you can click, and then it takes you to that field. Now make your first upload. All research outputs from across the fields are welcome. So in this new upload, I'll just click on this, and now you see it asks me to drag or drop the files here. Whatever file I'm interested in choosing, I can do it. So I'll choose file. I go to any file. Maybe this is an SPSS file which I'm going to upload it here. So I'll click on this. So this is uploaded. I can delete it anytime if I want to. This is the process. This is the procedure through which you can upload your data or other files. Like you can see, you can upload your publication, poster, presentation, data set. Right now it is data set, image, video, software, lesson, and other things. Okay, now this is about the community. If actually if we don't have any community, so you can see some of the projects and communities are mentioned. You can write down which project are we specifically talking about. If nothing is there, then you can go for Zenodo. That's it. This is for their community. If we just talk about, then you click on data set here. Now when I click on the data set, you see the first thing which comes is digital object identifier. It says that you don't have to put it here. All right. Did your publisher already assign a DOI to your upload? It means that if you are putting your work in a journal, and the journal asks you for uploading the research data on which the research has been done, then they would provide you a DOI for your publication. If that is not the case, that means you do not have a DOI for your publication, then you can just leave it empty, and Zenodo will give you a new DOI, and you can always quote that DOI for taking anybody to your research data. Now what is the publication date? You can give the date on which you are publishing it, that is today. Then you give the title for your data. Who are the authors? You can definitely provide a name of the authors who have helped you or been with you or are collaborators in the research. You can add another author by clicking here. You can give the description of the entire data set, and it is a required field, so you need to give how many variables have been measured, how we have used the scales, and other things can be given. The version is, if you click on the version, it says that mostly relevant for software and dataset upload. So for example, if you're uploading an SPSS dataset, you can give the version SPSS 22, 23, 26 accordingly. For generally we follow English, so we'll write ENG for language. The keywords, like you also put it for your research publication, you put it for your dataset as well. If you want to give additional notes, that means who is the funder of the project and what institutions are involved with the project through which the data has been generated, that can be put here. Now this is about licensing. Whom do you want your data to be seen? Who can see your data and work on that? Maybe use it, not using exactly, but the access or of seeing it is here. So if it's an open access, everybody will be able to see it. It's open. If it's embargoed access, it says that you can keep an embargo. That means nobody can see it till a particular date, and after that it will be visible. So that can be used here. The date can be put here, embargo date. If you want to give a restricted access to some of the institutions, you can write your conditions here. Some institutions, some people, you are allowed to write it here. And if you want to have a closed access, that means only the funders, fund association, or the companies in which you are working, you want to see that data, only they can see the data, then you can give a closed access. Right now we can see it's given by European Commission. Now these are the funders, fund agencies whose names are here. So you can use this. Otherwise, if this is not given here, the names are not here, then definitely you can go to additional notes and write down the detail. All right, so this will be enough. Now I'll just take you across what are the other things which are required for depositing your data. So for example, if you have some other data which is related to this data and that has been uploaded, you can give the related identifiers here. You can write down the name of the contributors here along with the authors. Any other contributor, if you have, you can write their name, affiliation, ORC ID number is required for them also. For the references, if you want to give some references from which you took help for creating that data set, you can definitely put them here. You can add another reference by clicking here. For a journal, if you're submitting your work to a journal and the journal requires the data, you can always add that data set, the journal title and the name here. If you have published your article already, that can also be, then in the journal name should be provided here. If you have presented your work in a conference, you can give the particulars of the conference. Same with the book chapter. If you've written chapter or book or a report on the basis of the data, you can provide it here. If it's a thesis, then the awarding university name, the supervisor's name, affiliation, their ORC ID number should be written. That means if you want to make your data available, the PhD data available, and from that you want to take out some of the research articles or publications, you can do it here. And you can give the subject details here and you can publish. If you do that, you will be creating a data set that is in the repository, that is authenticated, and anybody whom you're giving the license can have an access to that. Thank you.